Ever wonder why some people seem to move through their day with focus and calm, while the rest of us feel like we're chasing time from sunrise to sunset? It's not luck, it's habit. But not just any habit. The small, invisible ones that science says rewire our brain, shape our mood, and set the tone for every decision we make. We live in a world overflowing with life hacks, yet most of them fade faster than morning motivation. That's because they ignore how the brain actually builds consistency. True transformation starts not from willpower, but from structure. Daily habits designed around how the human body and mind naturally work. Today, we're not talking about vague inspiration. We're talking about research-backed actions you can apply before the next sunrise. These are habits proven by neuroscience and behavioral psychology. Habits that help you wake up with more energy, focus longer without burning out, and end the day feeling grounded, not drained. At Better Daily, we believe personal growth should feel simple, not stressful. Every video here blends science, timeless wisdom, and everyday practicality. Because improvement isn't about being perfect, it's about becoming just a little better every single day. In this video, we'll explore 10 daily habits backed by science that can completely reshape how you live and think. From morning routines that prime your brain for focus to evening rituals that calm your nervous system, each habit is small enough to start today, but powerful enough to change everything. By the end, you'll know not just what to do, but why it works, and how to turn these micro actions into long-term results. So before we dive in, hit subscribe and join thousands of others building a smarter, calmer, more intentional life, one better daily at a time. Now, let's move from ideas to action. Here are 10 daily habits backed by science, practical, proven, and ready to become part of your every morning. Habit 1, morning sunlight exposure. Have you noticed how stepping into the morning light feels like flipping a mental switch? It's not just your imagination. The first light your eyes see in the morning doesn't only wake you up, it sets the rhythm for your entire body. Most people reach for their phones before their feet hit the floor. Blue light from screens tricks the brain into thinking it's daytime, yet you're still half asleep. Cortisol levels confused, energy scattered. Within hours, you're tired again, craving coffee number 2. Science explains this clearly. When your eyes catch natural sunlight within the first 30 to 60 minutes after waking, it triggers a cascade of signals from your retina to your brain's suprachiasmatic nucleus, your body's master clock. This clock regulates hormones like melatonin and cortisol, which control alertness, focus, and even mood stability throughout the day. A 2021 Stanford study found that people who get morning sunlight regularly fall asleep faster, report higher energy, and show fewer symptoms of depression. In other words, sunlight is free medicine. Think of it like tuning a musical instrument. Your brain and body are the orchestra. Morning light is the conductor. Without that cue, the day's rhythm stays out of sync. No wonder everything feels offbeat. Here's how to apply it. Step outside within the first hour after waking, even for 5 to 10 minutes. No sunglasses, no glass barriers. Let the light reach your eyes naturally. If it's cloudy, stay out a little longer. Even gray skies emit enough lux to activate the same neural response. Pair it with light movement. Walk, stretch, or simply breathe deeply. The motion amplifies your body's wake-up signal. It's simple, science-backed, and free. Yet it might be the single most powerful habit to reset your energy, improve sleep, and sharpen focus naturally. No supplements, no tricks. As the old Japanese proverb says, the morning sun never fails to shine. What matters is whether we step outside to meet it. Now that your internal clock is set, let's move to the next science-backed habit, one that keeps your focus razor sharp throughout the day. Habit 2, mindful single tasking. We live in an age that worships multitasking. We juggle emails, notifications, conversations, and ideas all at once, believing it makes us efficient. But the truth? It makes us fragmented. Our attention isn't a laser, it's a flashlight. When we spread it too thin, everything grows dimmer. The pain point is familiar. You start one task, switch to another, check your messages, and somehow an hour disappears. You've worked hard but achieved little. This switching cost, as neuroscientists call it, burns mental energy and floods your brain with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. Over time, it drains motivation and focus. Science backs this up. A study from Stanford University found that chronic multitaskers perform worse on memory tests and have lower attention spans than those who focus on one thing at a time. Another study from the University of London even linked heavy multitasking to temporary drops in IQ, similar to missing an entire night's sleep. So what's the antidote? Mindful single-tasking, the deliberate act of doing one thing fully with your mind and senses engaged. When you train your brain to stay with one task, even simple ones like washing dishes or writing an email, you're strengthening neural pathways for focus and calm. Imagine your mind as a river. When it splits into many streams, the current weakens. But when you let it flow in one direction, it becomes powerful enough to carve through stone. That's what single tasking does. It channels your mental energy into not dispersion. Here's how to start. Choose one task and set a 25-minute timer. Silence notifications. Before beginning, take a slow breath and mentally note, this is the only thing I'm doing right now. When your mind wanders, gently bring it back without judgment. It's not about speed, it's about presence. The paradox is that when you slow down to focus, you actually finish faster and feel more fulfilled. There's a wise Buddhist saying, when you walk, walk. When you eat, eat. In a noisy world, this is revolutionary advice. Now that you've learned how to sharpen your attention like a blade, let's move to habit 3, one that refuels your mind and body for sustained performance throughout the day. Habit 3, midday movement. Breaks by noon, your body feels heavy, your focus blurs, and your posture quietly collapses into the shape of your chair. You might think you need caffeine. What you really need is circulation. The modern workday was designed for the mind, but the body never signed that contract. Our ancestors were in motion most of the day, walking, lifting, reaching. Now many of us spend over 10 hours seated. The result? Energy dips, brain fog, and mood crashes. Here's the science. When you sit for long periods, blood flow to the brain slows, reducing oxygen and nutrient delivery. Studies from the American Heart Association show that just 2 minutes of light movement every 30 minutes can significantly boost blood circulation, improve glucose regulation, and enhance focus. Movement literally refreshes the brain's chemistry, triggering neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin that elevate alertness and mood. Think of your body as a smartphone. Sitting too long is like running too many apps at once. It overheats, drains the battery, and slows everything down. A quick movement break is your refresh button. Here's a simple method backed by behavioral science. Every 90 minutes, stand up and move for at least 3 to 5 minutes. Walk to fill your water, do light stretches, or climb a flight of stairs. If you're in a tight workspace, even rolling your shoulders or doing 10 squats counts. Pair your breaks with triggers, like finishing a task or switching meetings, to make the habit automatic. Don't underestimate small motions. A short walk can increase creativity by up to 60%, according to a Stanford study. Some of the world's most innovative thinkers, from Steve Jobs to Beethoven, were known for walking to think. There's an old proverb, a moving door never rusts. Your body and mind are no different. When you move, you stay sharp. When you stay still too long, you dull your own edge. So before reaching for another coffee, stand, stretch, breathe, and let your blood remind your brain it's alive. Next, we'll explore habit 4, a practice that strengthens not your muscles, but your mind's resilience itself. Habit 4, daily digital detox moments. Your phone buzzes, a notification lights up. You check it just for a second, and suddenly 20 minutes are gone. Sound familiar? That's not a lack of discipline. It's design. Every ping and scroll is engineered to hijack your dopamine system. We live in an attention economy where your focus is the product. But the human brain wasn't built for infinite stimulation. The constant digital noise doesn't just waste time, it rewires your nervous system, leaving you anxious, restless, and unable to focus deeply even when you want to. Neuroscientists call it dopamine fatigue, a state where your reward system is overstimulated to the point of numbness. Like turning up the music until your ears can't hear the melody anymore. Studies from the University of Copenhagen and Harvard show that short digital breaks, just 5 to 10 minutes away from screens every 90 minutes, can reduce cortisol levels, restore focus, and even improve emotional regulation. Think of your mind like a clear lake. Every notification is a stone thrown into it. If you never let the ripples settle, you'll never see the reflection clearly. Here's a simple way to practice digital detox moments. Schedule 3 short, no-screen breaks in your day, morning, afternoon, evening. During those moments, step away from your devices. No phone, no music, no screens. Look outside, stretch, sip water, or simply breathe. If possible, pair one detox moment with sunlight or a walk. Double the benefit for your brain. Over time, these pauses act like mental palate cleansers, resetting your attention, reducing stress, and bringing your thoughts back into focus. As an old African proverb says, "He who is in a hurry always arrives late." Disconnecting for a few minutes isn't losing time, it's reclaiming it. So before you check that next notification, take a breath and step away. Your mind deserves quiet moments to remember itself. Next, let's move to habit 5, one that strengthens not your attention, but your mindset for growth and resilience. Habit 5, daily gratitude practice. Most people chase happiness like a finish line. But the truth is, happiness isn't something you reach, it's something you notice. And science says gratitude is how you train your brain to notice it more often. When life gets busy, the mind defaults to scanning for problems, deadlines, messages, mistakes. Evolution built us this way for survival, but in the modern world, that same instinct fuels anxiety and burnout. Gratitude rewires this bias. It shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present. And that simple shift changes everything. Research from the University of California, Davis, led by Dr. Robert Emmons, found that people who wrote down 3 things they were grateful for each day reported 25% higher happiness levels, slept better, and even exercised more. Neuroscientists discovered that regular gratitude practice activates the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain associated with reward and moral judgment, creating a lasting sense of contentment and perspective. Think of gratitude like sunlight for the mind. It doesn't erase the shadows, but it makes them easier to see through. Here's how to start a science-backed gratitude ritual. Each night or morning, list 3 specific things you're thankful for, big or small. Be precise. Instead of, "I'm grateful for my friends," try, "I'm grateful for the friend who called me when I felt lost." Feel it. Pause for a few seconds after each item and let the emotion sink in. Bonus, share one expression of gratitude with someone each day. It doubles the impact for both giver and receiver. Over time, this daily practice strengthens your mental gratitude muscle, building resilience against negativity and stress. Gratitude doesn't ignore pain. It reminds you that even in hardship, something remains good. As the Persian poet Rumi wrote, "Wear gratitude like a cloak, and it will feed every corner of your life." So tonight, before you sleep, count your blessings, not your worries. Next, we'll move to habit 6, a surprisingly simple method to unlock creativity and deep thinking every morning. Habit 6, morning journaling for clarity. Your mind wakes up before your body does. The moment you open your eyes, thoughts rush in. Plans, worries, unfinished conversations. It's mental noise, and most of us carry it straight into the day without sorting it. Journaling is how you empty the clutter before it controls you. This isn't about writing poetry or keeping a perfect diary. It's about giving your thoughts a place to land so your brain can breathe. Neuroscience shows that writing out your thoughts, by hand, not typing, helps the brain's prefrontal cortex process emotion and decision-making more clearly. It's like turning chaos into structure. A 2018 University of Texas study found that people who journal for just 10 minutes each morning experience lower stress levels and improved working memory. Writing externalizes mental loops, the overthinking spirals that drain focus and creativity. Think of it like cleaning the windshield before driving. The road doesn't change, but you can finally see it clearly. Here's how to build a 5-minute morning journaling habit. Keep a notebook beside your bed. When you wake up, write freely for 5 to 10 minutes. No filters, no grammar checks. Focus on 3 prompts. 1, what's on my mind right now? 2, what am I grateful for today? What one thing will make today meaningful? Don't reread or judge what you wrote. The purpose is release, not perfection. Many successful creators, from Leonardo da Vinci to Tim Ferriss, use journaling not as self-expression, but as self-organization. The page becomes a mirror where your mind can see itself. As the ancient Roman philosopher Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Writing helps separate the two. So tomorrow morning, before you touch your phone or face the world, touch a pen. Let the page take your thoughts so your mind can take the day. Next, we'll move to habit 7, a science-backed practice that trains not the mind, but the body's inner rhythm for long-term vitality. Habit 7, consistent sleep schedule. If you want a sharper mind, steadier mood, and more energy, start by protecting your sleep like a sacred ritual. We often treat sleep as optional, something we squeeze in after everything else. But neuroscience shows sleep isn't rest, it's repair. Your brain uses sleep to clean itself. During deep sleep, the glymphatic system flushes out toxins that build up while you're awake. Without it, your memory, focus, and emotional balance start to fray. It's like trying to run new software on an overloaded hard drive. Eventually, it crashes. A 2019 Harvard study revealed that people who maintain consistent sleep and wake times within 30 minutes each day have higher concentration, stronger immune systems, and even better decision-making skills. Meanwhile, irregular sleep schedules increase the risk of anxiety, fatigue, and even metabolic issues, no matter how long you sleep. The secret isn't sleeping more, it's sleeping regularly. Your body runs on a 24-hour internal clock called the circadian rhythm. When you go to bed and wake up at consistent times, your body starts predicting what's next. Melatonin rises on cue, cortisol wakes you naturally, and energy feels effortless. Think of it like tuning an instrument. You can't play music well if it's out of tune, and your body's rhythm works the same way. Here's how to stabilize your sleep rhythm. Choose a bedtime and wake-up time you can stick to, even on weekends. Dim the lights 60 minutes before bed. Avoid screens or use a blue light filter. Do a short wind-down ritual. Stretch, journal, or read. Get morning sunlight exposure. Remember habit 1, to anchor your circadian rhythm. Sleep is the foundation that supports every other habit you build. Without it, motivation crumbles, focus fades, and emotional balance disappears. There's a timeless saying, a good night's sleep is the best meditation, because when your body rests, your mind resets. So tonight, don't chase another episode or another scroll. Chase restoration. Your future self will thank you. Next, we'll move to habit 8, a simple but profound practice that fuels your mental clarity and physical vitality throughout the day. Habit 8, hydration habit. Your brain is about 75% water. When you're dehydrated, even slightly, your energy dips, your focus blurs, and your mood quietly sinks. Yet most people walk around in a mild state of dehydration without realizing it. The first sign isn't thirst, it's fatigue. You reach for caffeine thinking you're tired, but what your body really wants is water. A 2019 study in Nutrients Journal found that losing just 1 to 2% of body water can impair cognitive performance, slow reaction times, and reduce motivation. The brain literally works harder when it's dry. Water is not just hydration, it's circulation. It moves nutrients, removes waste, and keeps electrical signals in your neurons firing smoothly. When you drink enough, your body's communication system hums in tune. Think of your body like a garden. Coffee and energy drinks are like fertilizer. They can help for a while, but without water, the soil cracks and nothing grows. Here's how to make hydration a habit, not an afterthought. Start your morning with water. Drink 1 full glass right after waking up to rehydrate from the night. Carry a bottle. Keep it visible. Out of sight means out of mind. Link it to triggers. Drink a few sips before every meal, meeting, or break. Add flavor if needed. A slice of lemon, cucumber, or mint can make it refreshing without sugar. Avoid catch-up drinking. Don't wait to chug liters at night. Steady hydration works best. Hydration doesn't just keep you alive, it keeps you alert. Proper water intake supports mood regulation, digestion, and even creativity. As the saying goes, a drop of water is worth more than a sack of gold to a thirsty man. Treat every sip as a small act of self-care. So before your next cup of coffee, reach for water first. Next, we'll move to habit 9, a practice that keeps your mind calm, centered, and ready for the unexpected. Habit 9, daily mindfulness practice. Your body can be in one place while your mind runs miles away. You're at your desk, but thinking about yesterday's mistake. You're having dinner, but already worrying about tomorrow's meeting. This constant mental time travel steals the only moment you truly have, now. Mindfulness is not about emptying your mind. It's about noticing what's already there. Thoughts, sensations, emotions, without judgment. It's the practice of awareness, not escape. Neuroscience backs this ancient wisdom. Studies from Harvard and Oxford have shown that just 10 minutes of daily mindfulness meditation can shrink the amygdala, the brain's stress center, and strengthen the prefrontal cortex, the region that governs focus, decision-making, and emotional regulation. In simple terms, mindfulness makes your brain calmer under pressure and clearer under chaos. Think of your mind as a snow globe. When you shake it, stress, thoughts, notifications, everything swirls. But when you pause and let it settle, clarity returns on its own. Here's how to start small. Set aside 5 to 10 minutes each day. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and breathe naturally. Focus on the sensation of your breath, the rise and fall, the air moving through your nose. When thoughts arise, and they will, don't fight them. Acknowledge them and gently return to your breath. If you prefer movement, mindful walking or stretching works too. The goal is attention, not stillness. Over time, mindfulness teaches your brain to respond instead of react. You become less like a leaf blown by emotions and more like the tree, steady, rooted, aware. As the Zen saying goes, you should sit in meditation for 20 minutes a day. Unless you're too busy, then you should sit for an hour. Because the busier the mind, the greater its need for stillness. So today, give yourself the gift of silence. A few minutes where the world doesn't need you, and you can simply be. Next, we'll move to habit 10, the final habit that brings all the others together into a life of purpose and balance. Habit 10, evening reflection and reset. The day doesn't truly end when you close your laptop. It ends when your mind lets go. Yet many of us carry the noise of the day into the night. Unfinished tasks, stray thoughts, quiet self-criticism, whispering, "You didn't do enough." Evening reflection transforms that noise into clarity. It's the mental equivalent of cleaning your workspace before tomorrow. You don't need an hour. Just 5 minutes of conscious review can shift your entire mood and mindset. Psychologists call this cognitive closure, the brain's natural need to complete open loops. When you pause to reflect, your nervous system receives a signal. The day is done. You are safe. This lowers cortisol, improves sleep quality, and strengthens memory consolidation overnight. Here's how to create your evening reset ritual. Take a notebook or your phone's notes app. Ask yourself 3 questions. 1. What went well today? 2. What challenged me and what did I learn? 3. What will I let go of before sleeping? Keep your answers short and honest. No judgment, no performance. End with 1 deep breath and a simple affirmation. Today was enough. This practice rewires your inner dialogue from self-criticism to self-compassion. Over time, you'll start ending days feeling lighter, not lesser. Think of it like closing all the tabs in your mental browser. The next morning, you wake up to a fresh, uncluttered screen, ready for creation, not correction. As a Japanese proverb says, a bow at the end of the day straightens tomorrow. So tonight, before scrolling one last time, take a moment to bow to your own effort. Reflect, release, reset, and let rest become your reward. Because living better daily isn't just about what you do in the morning. It's also about how gently you end the day. When you look back at these 10 habits, you might notice something simple yet profound. None of them require talent, money, or perfect motivation. They just require presence, the quiet decision to show up for yourself every day. Science tells us that our brains are not fixed. They're sculpted by repetition. Every small action, a walk in sunlight, a mindful breath, a note of gratitude, is a brushstroke shaping the person you're becoming. And when you combine them, these habits don't just change your schedule, they change your identity. Imagine your life as a garden. The habits you practice today are seeds, small, ordinary, easy to overlook. But given time and consistency, they grow into strength, calm, and purpose. You don't need to force them. You just need to water them, one day at a time. At Better Daily, we believe self-improvement isn't about chasing perfection. It's about creating rhythm, a steady beat that reminds you, progress is quiet, but powerful. When you wake up a little earlier, breathe a little deeper, think a little kinder, that's growth. So tonight, take a moment to thank yourself for watching all the way through. You've already taken the first step, awareness. The next step begins tomorrow morning when you choose to live a little better daily. If this video helped you, hit subscribe, join the Better Daily community, and keep building the habits that build you. Because each day is a chance to live not perfectly, but intentionally. Thank you for spending your time with us today. Take care, rest well, and we'll see you in the next video. One small habit at a time.